Shalom Aleichem. It's been quite a while since we last read from the Tiferes LeMoishe. So just to kind of recap on where we're holding, we're trying to understand in where do we go wrong, the Israel? Like Tachlis. We want to love everybody, but we find it extremely difficult. Why is it so difficult? So interesting thing is the Baal Tanya says in a Sefer in Perek Lamed Beis of Tanya, he says as follows. He says the reason why it's so difficult is because your identification with who you are stops with what you see. So you look in the mirror and you see your face, you see the way you look. Even if you don't look in the mirror, you look down, you look at your hands and what your hands are doing, you look at what your life is, you look at what you see with your eyes. And he says the problem is that is how you then translate other people. So when you see other people, that's what you see, the physical self, you don't see beyond it. And he uses very strong words. He uses the words that he says what you need to do is you need to have your body needs to be something which is considered cheap, not important. Obviously you need your body to do what you need to do on a day-to-day basis, but as far as the level of importance goes, and it's something which is considered to be special, it's not special. And your true happiness, your true joy should come from actualizing your potential, from thinking back on the day, for example, and thinking, wow, I had this challenge and I succeeded. That's where your joy should lie. Your joy shouldn't particularly lie. I mean, it's great if you lose a few pounds, but that's not really where the joy should be in terms of accomplishments. It can be that if it's really difficult and you worked on your Yetzer Hara by not eating, for example, but then you're celebrating that victory. The fact that you lost pounds is a bonus. It's the victory that you achieved. And so he says, I'll read the bolded part, or translate it rather. Even though that we all have one Father, and therefore we're called brothers, all of us, because in the root of who we are, we come from one root. And therefore, if you look beyond yourself, you will see yourself and somebody else, because you will see that same root somewhere else. Oh, there's another Jewish soul with infinite potential. There's another one with infinite potential. Oh, wow. His take on how to actualize infinite potential is amazing, and her take is also inspiring, and etc., etc. So he says that really, whenever if you're loving somebody else because of the way that they look or the way they do things, what you're loving, we've discussed this before, is the way they look or the way they do things. Meaning you're loving yourself because that is something that you identify with, and you're loving it because it's either important to you or you do the same thing, and therefore you're not loving someone else, you're loving yourself because you're seeing yourself in another. And the same thing goes with love between a father and a child, or a mother and a child. And the point is to love the child, not to love the self that you see within the child. So he says that he gives the following parable here, the Tiferes LeMoishe. What he says is that imagine somebody has six, seven sons, and one of the sons comes to him and says, "Dad, just want to let you know, this one and this one, these two, I like them because they're like me because they dress like me, or they pray like me, or they live like me, or whatever else is. But the others, I don't really like so much. Like what do I have with them? Like we're so different. So like I don't love them." And the father would be really upset because he's completely missing the point. What do you mean you have nothing with them? You're brothers. You both come from me. That's the association that you have with all of them. And the reason why you love two of them is because you love yourself, nothing to do with them. And so he's missing the point. So that is, on a day-to-day practical basis, how we're missing the point, is we're loving part of ourselves within what we see in another. And the point is that we've also missed the boat with ourselves, because we fail to see that we are so much more than what we see, and so much more than what we perceive. And it should be the beyond that we try and see in ourselves, and then we will see the same in others.